Diocese of Sioux Falls, and I work in the marriage tribunal. And one of the kind of sidelines that I've begun, or spent a lot of time doing anyway, is helping the diocese or the region here with marriage preparation. So when couples are going through the marriage preparation program, I have often given a talk about what we learn about sex, love, and marriage. So today I want to talk a little bit about that. One of the popular sayings nowadays that I think is quite intriguing is, why buy the cow when the milk is free? This is illustrative, I think, of the way our culture is tending to look at sex. We live in an age of sexual freedom. It's no holds barred. Everybody's doing it. I can do it. It's free and easy. No consequences. It's just a thing that people do. It's expected on the first encounter. It's expected in dating. It's expected as part of a relationship. Nothing to do with with marriage, nothing to do with consequences. It's free and easy. The media literally divinizes it. You can look at practically any drama or any reality show on television, and they're laced with sex, and it's free sex, no commitment, no obligation. In a sense, what that does is it reforms our social and moral fabric. I think of it as deregulation. You know, we have deregulation of prices. We have deregulation of consequences, deregulation of conscience. We can behave this way and not be concerned about what does it mean? Where is it going? What happens with this? What are the consequences of this behavior? So let's talk a bit about sex and love. People talk about making love. When you make love, is that love? When you have sex, is sex love? If you love me, you'll do this. Really? Maybe the answer to that is, if you love me, you won't ask me to do this. So what is sex and love? What is love? When we talk about love, we might think of it in two aspects. On the one hand, love has an eros component. Eros, E-O-R-S. What is eros? Well, eros is a physical drive that we have within us. It comes right out of biological chemistry. God put it within us. It's a great gift. It's passionate. It's intoxicating. It's self-centered, though, at the same time. It's sort of without conscience. It's all about me and what I want, but it's very strong, and it's a very strong drive. And it's a gift. It's not to be shunned. It's a gift. It's a wonderful gift that we need in our lives. So, along with eros, though, we have agape, spelled A-G-A-P-E. These are Greek words. Agape is not physical. Agape is of the human spirit. It has a giving, caring sense to it. It's good-seeking. It's other-conscious. In other words, it thinks about the other. It thinks about consequences. It's considerate. It's also sacrificial. So on the one hand, we have this physical drive that we call sex. On the other hand, that physical drive should be regulated by our human spirit, what we want to be and become as persons and as a society. So that is it's in a sense, it's a control tower that God put within us. These two gifts work together, integrated together. These two gifts constitute love. Now, without sex, love is going to be a dry, dynamic, or a dry experience lacking any dynamism. It's bland, it's platonic. Without agape, eros will become erotic. It will use people. It will make people into a commodity. I don't care what happens to the other. I just want to have sex because of the rush it gives to me, the drive it gives to me. So these two really belong to each other. A very important dimension of sex and love is that sex is a communication of a commitment that people make to each other. And this is what connects sex to marriage. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. Sex is a communication of that commitment. Sex brings together two people. In Scripture, we say that the two become one flesh. They are a communion now. They are a union. But that union isn't just physical. It has human and spiritual dimensions. That means they belong to each other. They're there for each other. Sex is the communication of that. Now, if that commitment is not there, then sex becomes just a manner of using somebody. It's self-centered, it's possessive, it's controlling. In a sense, it's dehumanizing. So these two belong together. And of course, the place Eros and Agape are functioning as love is in marriage. We also know that sex produces children. And this is another reason why sex belongs in marriage, because children have a right to a home and a stable family life, and we need two parents for that. To make a good family and a good social fabric, we need healthy marriages. Now, sex produces children, so the marriage becomes fruitful, and we have a very stable, sealed marriage and a very stable, sealed family life together. Now, this is a difficult thing to live with because, for one thing, our culture teaches us we don't need to do it this way. We're in a liberated society. We can do what we want. Well, that has to do with our own faith and even our own human beliefs, what we want to be as a society and as a people. Do we want to be whole, solid, meaningful people? Do we want to express love and care and responsibility for each other? Or do we just want to do what we please, no consequences, do whatever you want? I think we find a very meaningful statement in the Gospels about this. No greater love has any person than the one who lays down their life for another. Love means laying your sex life down for another within marriage. It's not free. Its greatest meaning is in that context. And there we experience the goodness of God. So in a sense, sex and love are an experience of both the human and the divine, driven by passion, but governed by our better selves. It's a beautiful gift that God has given us.